Welcome to another edition of Gem Collectors with Shawn. And I'm that Shawn. Yeah, you thought I was going to be slow starting off. No, I am that excited, fire up Shawn as ever, because I get to come in and talk about, comment about, sell, all the things related to my hobby. And I've been doing that for 51 years now. Since the age of 11, I managed to find a way to make a living doing what I love to do best. And that is everything from prospecting to goldsmithing to every form of lapidary work there is, and mineral and gem collecting. It doesn't get any better than that, you know. I always said that I'd work for less than the market price just to do what I love to do. But to be able to, get a fair wage for doing what I love to do, that is the best way all around. So, for any of you new to the show, welcome. Of course, this is a show affiliated with Gem Shopping Network, a 25-year plus business started by the founder, who was a gem and mineral person like I am. So this show is a little niche, a little corner of what was some of the original programming from 25 years ago. And I love it that gem shopping still has that part left, and better yet, that I get to be the host for that part. So, I'm thankful. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. I know when you see this, it will be a few days afterwards, but for me, I'm recording it on Thursdays, as you know by now, the day before. So you see the green, and of course, I had the choice of Anthony's owl that he made for me with the green Savorite eyes or the emerald crystal. And so it was the emerald crystal today, went with the shirt, and here I am. Being 1/4 Irish and 1/4 Welsh, and a name like Shawn, can't go wrong, right? I was telling someone the other day about the spelling of my name. I was born in 1961, and when my mom was deciding on a name, she wanted Shawn, and of course the Irish and British way to spell it is S-E-A-N, and it was very uncommon at the time. And she was afraid that I'd have trouble throughout my life with people misspelling my name. So she spelled it the phonetical way, phonics way. Right after I was born and after I was named, I think within the same year, because I was born at the beginning of the year in January, the big and very first James Bond movie came out with Sean Connery. And from then on, worldwide, people were much more familiar with the name Shawn, and it's Scottish in his case, and the British Isles way of spelling Shawn. So that's how it wound up, and that's the backstory. My son, I kind of followed that tradition of giving it an Irish spin, because his first and middle name is Colin Patrick, and you can't get much more Irish sounding than that. So, it was neat several years ago when he told me that he loved his name. So that's always good to hear when you have one child and you get the name right. I remember the very moment and place when I came up with that name. He and his mom were in a car together, and I remember the exact geographical location, and it blurted out. I came out with a name, and she loved it, and that was it. That was how quick that effort was over with. Some people spend a long time looking through name directories and looking at all of like that. No. The only thing I spend a long time looking at names is mineral names. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can get involved on a mineral site, an information site, and just get lost reading the information and all about it. And even the real technical end of it, valences and, how Mn plus 4, manganese plus 4 valence is magnetic, but an Mn plus 2 valence isn't. Things like that. So I probably should reserve some of the little space that's left in my memory banks for other more useful information. But when you love what you do and you love every aspect of what's before me, it's difficult to break away. Like, give me a Rock and Gem magazine and, I'm lost start to finish reading it. But anyway, so we have a really good show today for you. Not that many comments. It's not going to take that long to go through them. We do have a winner. As a matter of fact, every single one of you that commented also answered the trivia, and every single one of you got it right. That doesn't happen too often. Maybe I was making it a little easy for you, was it? Okay, so that about covers it for now. In general, it was interesting to see that all of you missed me showing the mineral specimens. I was just telling Asif that I had 10 specific new items that we entered into the inventory last week and I showed, and 10 out of 10 sold. Every single one. And of course your comments refer to missing out on the mineral specimens. So I appreciate knowing that, but also we're going to keep it a little mixed up and have a little bit of everything. Today we're doing some very cool gemstones. It's going to be a mixed show. I have a couple of high-end pieces. Now, high-end is only relative to the person that is selling them and their cost to that person. So the pieces I'm going to be showing you are a lot higher end than the price is going to reflect. So, 3 to 4 times on average. And one of the pieces is one of the very last ones. Remember, a lot of these items are coming back from that estate. So I'm getting to see items I made a lot in 1998 and 99 and 2000, around there. And one that you're going to see today is a real rarity because I cut the stone and I made the ring. And then I have had to recut the stone, but we'll get into that when I show you. Some really exciting things today for you. So let's, and I know you're thinking, Shawn, get your paperwork done and show us the goods. Let's tell you what the questions were to the trivia. Okay, so the trivia that we had from last week's show, and for those kind of watching relatively new, we do trivia at the end of every show, usually on something from the show, but not always. And the winner is decided the week after, and is when there's multiple correct answers, I assign a number to each person, and then we randomly, I have one of the guys just pick a number for me, and that's how we do it. The magic of the show is in that process, that fate works its way in and through these other people and myself to get the right free item to the right person for the right reason. I think I referenced George early on, who was our rock group's geologist, who watches the show but doesn't comment as often, and I think he travels a little bit. But he had won a ironstone carved bear, and he lived on Big Bear Road. Those kind of magical things. I could go on and name so many other instances of kind of a supernatural power to the show. So, questions. Question number 1 was, what is the main mineralogical difference discussed between pyrolusite and salamalite? Now, that question is derived from that amazing specimen that I featured, that I had bought from that rock shop I worked in at the age of 13. So that it would have been around 1974 or so when I acquired it. And I showed you, or Asif uploaded a picture that is from mindat.org. So it's a .org, so you know it's a incredible website that doesn't sell items and has, to me, the best information of any site. And it also, people post up examples of the mineral from all these different locations, and you can click on and even get pictures of what the mine looks like and information. It's just, you have to navigate it and explore it yourself to really enjoy it. So the picture I had pulled up was a picture from 2013. So Mindat has on their homepage a photo of the day, and the photo of the day in that picture from 2013 was a specimen that looked almost exactly like the one that I was offering for sale, which I think now I gave it away basically price-wise. I had no idea what to ask for something like that, but it is extremely rare to find that type of salamalite. And for it to be in that condition and not damaged, those incredible velvety crystals are so easily damaged. So it made picture of the day, which tells you just how, and it looked really no different. I could have taken a picture of that one and it would have looked just like the one that won the picture of the day. So that tells you in 2013 how rare, unique, and unusual that specimen was then. And now it's 10 years since then. So you just can't go to a show and find something like that. I think I saw where that specimen sold, which is a good and a bad thing. Good because, of course, I probably needed it too. Bad because I really hated selling it. And I know that I could never replace it for even what it sold for. So that was a good choice for someone to make. So what was the difference between the two? Well, if you remember the specimen, those little velvety crystals sat on top of another black banded mineral, which is a manganese oxide also. identical to the selamelane, called pyrolusite. And so with the question, what was the difference between the two? Well, just like so many others I have showed you, it's a polymorph. One is a polymorph of the other. Polymorph is, or are minerals that are identical in chemical composition, but have a different crystal system that makes them look completely different from one another. Those two were somewhat similar, but other polymorphs are like completely different. Take kyanite and andalusite and silimonite. All the same chemically, different crystal systems have made them completely, not even looking like kissing cousins. Completely different. So the answer was the crystal system. So the crystal system was the primary difference between the two. And that was the answer. Question number 2 was, what mineral is made up from vanadium, silicon, and calcite? Now, I switched the order around of those because if I did, let's see, cavansite, spelled C-A-V-A-N-S-I-T-E. Ca for calcium, VAN for vanadium, and Si for silicon. It spells out the mineral cavansite. That's what, probably, you know how I talk about a name of a mineral, I think, should add at least some worthwhile information to the specimen, like named after one of the places it's found in, or the chemical makeup, as in cavansite, or maybe even, like so many are, named after the person that originally discovered it. But many are named in honor of someone else that may not even be someone related to the sciences of geology or mineralogy. It could be like prehnite, which was named after von Prien, who was the governor of South Africa, where prehnite was first discovered. It wasn't, he didn't discover it, but it was named after the governor. So, you know, that's like, I don't know. Many pieces are named in honor of someone else. Not a big fan of that. Now, unless someone found something and named it after me, then that's completely different, you know. But at least I'm in the field, right? I at least am not just a politician or something. So what mineral is made up from vanadium, silicon, and calcite? Cavansite. And we showed that beautiful, beautiful, and unique one that you could see basically the cutaway of it. And we'll read the lucky person who got that. All right, so let's start with the comments. Cindy in Pennsylvania. Hello, Rock family. Wonderful show again, Shawn. You brought back some memories talking about, wrong one. And you know what I started doing? I started saving paper. I started printing I thought it was really smart of me because I was actually out of paper. So I thought, well, why don't I take last week's show, flip the paper over, and print the next week's show on it. So all I have to do is turn it over, and I have the information. So the only thing that go wrong is what just went wrong. I go ahead and keep reading from last week's comments. I just have to flip it over. So here we go. Well, isn't it unusual again? Cindy starts off, and I do it in the order that they came in. So, you know, as it shows up, I start with what would be the last one is first. So I'm doing them in the chronological order. Cindy in Pennsylvania. Hello, Rock family. Great specimens this week. I ordered that Iolite Shamrock pendant on Tuesday night. It arrived Thursday afternoon. Fast, she says. Yes, when you're a paying client, you do get things fast. The free items, well, they take a different path. They used to take, we used to say 3 to 5 weeks to get the specimen. And I used to joke about it. Well, if you were, if it was a item that cost, you get it really quick. But now, nah, the free items you get fast. Not as fast as if you pay for something, but you get them much quicker than that now. But they do take a different path. So if you're looking for a free item and it doesn't come as fast as something that you bought, now you know why. Trivia. Polymorph, salomoline, and pyrolusite. They have the same chemical formula, but crystal growth is different. Spot on. And then cavensite. Very good. Can't wait till the next show. Cindy in South Central Pennsylvania. Fave of the week, the salomoline specimen. And in case you didn't hear at the end of last week's show, I mentioned about salomoline and the pronunciation of it, because I actually looked it up to make sure I got it right. And I'd always been saying it right. I just wanted to make sure. But I clicked on 3 different sites for word pronunciation, and it pronounced it 3 different ways. Silomalane was one, salomoline was another, and something else. But just to let you know, if you are pronouncing or have been pronouncing it a little bit different, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's just fine. We have Miss Kathleen. Miss Kathleen says, hello all, I hope you had a wonderful week. I have to say that I'm a bit saddened that all 4 items I attempted to purchase were already sold within a few hours of the show being uploaded. And that, Miss Kathleen, is, I'm not going to say a downside to the show, because of course we want them to sell, but the only part about that is if you don't or aren't able to watch the show shortly after it posts, then yes, you can miss out on the items like that. And that's been something that's been happening to everyone. Has missed out on items. But just know that the magic of the show, that whoever got those items, that's where they were supposed to end up. You just have to think that way. But I don't like that, because I end up with a disappointed client, and I don't want that to happen. I know that you definitely do not have any more salomoline, but if you do have some more aquamarine that you are willing to sell, I would love to purchase them. Thanks. Wishing everyone a great week. Trivia question. Main mineralogical difference. They have a different crystal system. And then you got cavensite as well. So very good there. And Miss Kathleen, I think we found another aqua crystal, because it is the month of March. So what a great time to show aqua. And I have some others that I will intentionally inventory in for you to find one that you like. And I will have them for next week's show. The one today, though, I would say, and everyone is pretty honorable about it, if I say, well, this one, set aside for Miss Kathleen. But I don't know if that's one that you'll like compared to the other. So I won't put that condition on it. But you said them, so maybe you'll buy a few. This is a really nice one today, so you may want to get it, and then maybe something else from the others. Ones I'll be inventory as well. I don't want to disappoint you, and if you were looking for aqua, that's okay. I take requests like that, and yes, I do have more aquas, and I'm also going to be offering, not in this show, but coming up, some more of those Japanese iridescent garnets. And these are phenomenal for the iridescence and the incredible finish on the faces of the crystal. So that's kind of neat because some of those faces have some beautiful color, but they also have some other mineral growth on the exterior of them that can affect the look. But these are not all of them have that. These are some that I set aside because they are just like a glass finish to them. So look forward to those. And look forward to more aquamarine next week. Anthony in Massachusetts. Hello all, another great show. Question, Shawn, is the salamalane with wavy lines and bullseye patterns the same as the material with the velvety crystals? Okay, so with that specimen, it's a perfect example to discuss the two minerals. And that's actually a great question because I'm sure you have seen the salamalane and like the bullseye salamalane that are cabochon cut and come from the Crown of Silver mine in Mexico. I've actually had some of them that have been bezel set in silver. I still may have one that didn't sell. I know Penny in Quebec had always wanted one. And they represent it as salamalane when it technically might actually be pyrolusite. Remember, if it's a polymorph, so they're both the same chemically, just a different crystal system. The salamalane, though, is found most often as botryoidal formations like goethite, like the black, bubbly botryoidal specimens. And if you took one of the goethite's botryoidal crystals and polished down on it, you would see that growth pattern of rings as well. I think that it's technically, if you saw the crystal system of it, probably pyrolusite instead of salamalane, but salamalane is a better marketing name than the pyrolusite, because if you actually look at pyrolusite, it's often associated with less exciting pieces or discovery or formation or the way it looks. So the velvety crystals, pyrolusite doesn't form those. So when you see it, those bullseye and ringed and banded cabochon cut pieces and they're represented as salamalane, that is probably technically not exactly correct, but it's close enough to be able to call it salamalane. But if you actually did or actually knew the crystal system of it in its original state, it may not be. It may be a true pyrolusite. But again, they're really close friends and brothers and sisters to each other, being polymorphs. So that particular specimen, to have the two, one on top of the other, makes it very distinct, the actual difference. And that specimen was a perfect example to show that example to. Now, the Salomalane that has that botryoidal growth, I haven't cut any of it, but it may be banded. So once you move away from the mineral specimen, people have no idea of what crystal system it formed in. And if you test it chemically, it's going to come out to be the same. So it may be actual Salomalane as well. It's one of those things, I just can't say. I have a feeling that there's a banded pattern to it also. So it may be actual Salomalane. That's the thing with polymorphs that are so similar. Give me a polymorph that's a kyanite-looking one against an andalusite. That's the kind I can tell the difference of. But really, really good question. And it's interesting that you've been a fan of this mineral for a while now. I got one from you shaped like a grotto with the velvet-like crystals. Well, weren't you awfully lucky? I also scored the one you showcased last week as well as the diamond parcel. Okay, now we know. Anthony got the Salomalane. Well done to you, sir. Well done. That specimen will give you incredible positive energy because it was near and dear to my collection. I bought it in the box, just like you see it. I'm the one, as a little boy, used that little machine creating that label that no one uses that anymore. And I did that so long ago. And I'm a little regretful for selling it because I know it's irreplaceable. But again, it was time for it to find another home. And I'm glad to know where it went because I wanted to know. And so I'm glad that you got that. I was just reading your comment again to make sure I answered it the best I can. So yeah, I have a feeling if you have the botryoidal Salomalane, that it probably has those wavy growth lines and may cut exactly something very similar that the pyrolusite with the different banding, which is the base of that piece, probably look very similar to each other side by side. The 5 smallest stones in that diamond parcel, I'm hoping they will work into a white gold ring blank that I'm setting a 5.5 carat mint green round Congolese tourmaline. I want to accent it with a halo of diamonds and demantoid garnets. Wow, that's going to be stunning. Well done. Send me a picture when it's complete. And let's see, you got both the answers correct, except you said vanadinite, but I knew you really meant vanadium. So, well done on that. Eyes down, because that's where the rocks and minerals are. Harry in Massachusetts says, hello to you, Professor Shawn, and your very lovely Raven, and those well-equipped, awesome people at GSN, and to all my sisters and brothers out and about this great world of ours. We'll have to confess, I was tuned on the program, but fell asleep, so I started over. I know I didn't get past the email sent in, so I got up and started my coffee pot, and will have my morning coffee with all you beautiful people. Nothing like the first sip of good coffee. Well, okay, here we go. OMG, I just found out I won the trivia. Oh, cool. I sure will put that to good use. And nice serpentine vase. I will put that right in my curiosity cabinet after I repair it. Because remember, I sent him the vase and that cool glue that works really, really well, that hardens only upon using a fluorescent light. Neat stuff. Great specimen of tourmaline and feldspar and calcite. It is. Very nice. Shawn, on the very nice rhodonite and rainbow obsidian collector's knife, and discovering it hidden from you, maybe I should bite my tongue. I don't think it's right. Whoops, I'm sorry. Out, butt out. That's not right. So, what he's referring to, and someone bought that incredible knife, was that rhodonite handle knife with the obsidian. So, I discovered it. It wasn't that hidden, but Raven's here, but she's not in the room. She's next door. So, but I don't think she should know. But it was in a semi-hidden place in her daughter's room, which she keeps a room there, even though she stays over at her boyfriend's 95% of the time. She has a lot of different mineral specimens that were given to her, but also that were kind of cherry picked out of collections over the years and weren't officially hers, but just were part of decorating her room, like we have mineral specimens across the entire house. So I went in looking for those specimens that I knew were not a gift to her, and that's when I found the knife. As far as Raven hiding or taking items, it's been an acceptable thing that I've been okay with, because if she didn't do that, I would not have had that rhodonite knife to offer now. It would have sold years ago. And so many other pieces. What she did was, when we were doing the live show and we had just so much inventory, she would not necessarily cherry pick, because her tastes are different. Sometimes she would like something that was just a mid-grade item but thought it was cool. And other times she'd pick some of the better stuff and she'd put it up on a shelf. She'd display it. She would tuck it away, which was fine. I was okay with that, until she took the gem silica specimens, because she really didn't want me to sell those, and she can't remember where she put them. Yeah. Now that's when I have a problem with it. So, and with the house, and bad news on that. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So she tucked those away somewhere that she's not sure exactly where they are. That's probably actually still not a bad thing, because they will turn up at a time when I need them the most. And if I had already had them, I would have already sold them. And so now I still have them, and maybe at whatever point I won't have to sell them. So the discovery of things she has hidden or displayed somewhere else has been okay with me. It's allowed me to offer things like that so many years later that I wouldn't have had to show. So, but I always appreciate all of your concern, and anything goes that you want to say, like that. So, no harm, no foul. And believe me, I have some issues about that when she can't find them. She also doesn't remember having even probably put that knife there. She probably put the knife where I found it 5 years ago, kind of thing. No, it would have been even longer than that. Yeah, 7 years ago. But that's our household. Speaking of our household, quick note. I was supposed to meet to start and sign the paperwork to start the reconstruction of our home. I talked to the manager I'd been working with, just the day before yesterday. And I was supposed to meet with him yesterday afternoon. I moved from working on my inventory to working at my bench so I could see when he was coming. So he was supposed to meet at 3. At 3:30, still wasn't there. All of a sudden, I get a phone call on. I got a text on that person's number from the district manager. The guy's gone. They fired him. They fired him just like that. I don't know why, but I'm going to find out. So this entire process now gets slowed down again. And in one more week, it will be 3 months. Not a happy camper. Okay. Harry goes on to say, well, I will be making a try at the aqua crystal. There's cutters in them thar hills. Trivia question 1. You have gotten it. Let's see. Let me read. Main mineralogical difference in pyrolusite and salamalane is different crystal system. Yep, we got that right. Number 2, mineral made up, vanadium, silica, and calcium is goldmanite. Goldmanite. Not sure I know what that one is. Well, I hope to get that aqua crystal, but it most likely is gone already. Ugh. Well, till next week, take care of each other and love on each other. Harry, so that's 2 of you that want aqua crystals. So I will definitely inventory in some aquas. Hi, Shawn. This is from Harry again. Hi, Shawn. Getting ready to go out to work, but I had a thought and am changing one trivia answer. The 3 elements of vanadium, silica, and calcium are in the mineral carbonsite. Now you got it. There you go. There you go. Because of the 2 words, C-A-S-I and V-A-N, all connect together and just about spell it out. Exactly. And I remember the more nice blue specimen. Yeah, that carbonsite. Okay. Take care, Harry. Thank you, Harry. And I'm glad that you corrected your answer, which you can do. Miss Barber says, hi, Professor, Raven, GSN crew, and the whole Rock family. It felt good to be back to specimens. I kind of missed them. I'd say all of you did. Thank you for the wonderful malachite replacing azurite specimens. I always think of Pac-Man chopping up the blue and leaving green behind in its wake. Is all azurite doomed to be overcome by malachite? How long does the changeover take? Would it happen in a vacuum? As you can see, this sparked some big questions amongst my Monday night group. And all 3 of your questions, I have no idea of the answer. So it was a great discussion you had. And I'm sure that they have tried those crystal growing specimens. And the only one I would probably say is, as far as in a vacuum, I think they would grow in a vacuum. I think probably a lot of the different pockets deep down in the ground are in some kind of, could be in some kind of vacuum. And is all azurite doomed to be overcome by malachite? That's possible. If it's not dug up soon enough. Provided that the pocket of malachite or the discovery of malachite has azurite in it at all. If there's azurite in it, then there is the possibility that, yeah, it could be replaced, because it sure seems, it never happens the other way around. Malachite does not get replaced by azurite that I've ever seen. Jumped on that unique form of carbonsite. That's where that beautiful cabin site went to, Miss Barbara. It'll look great between the wavellite specimen and the pink heulandite geode. It certainly will. The wavellite has that beautiful spray-like pattern in a cross section, and the heulandite geode, the heulandite crystals also, the way they grow, look like in a spray form as well. So very cool. Boy, you have been digging deep and coming up with unique stuff. Hope that furry salamaline found a good home. Well, it did with Mr. Anthony. I think I probably could have sold 4 or 5 of those, it seems like, if I had them. Great answer on the green spinel. I've received dark teal green in natural parcels, but never anything like the miracle grass green in the photo. Yeah, I'm with you. I'd like to see that, sir. I'm sure there's an addendum to it that no one could get it that wrong. Never seen green spinel like that. That color, that cut, at that price shouts synthetic, which most of us don't realize we have been getting in our school ring since forever. And that's the truth. Forever. Long time they've been doing synthetic spinels as the stone in class rings. Not even synthetic corundum, which would be a harder and better to wear one. As to the trivia, pyrolusite is tetragonal and salamalane is monoclinic. Both are manganese oxides. Exactly. So it's the 2 crystal systems. Calcite tells its component elements in its name. So getting those correct. Take care and don't let them seal up your walls without insulating those pipes. I'm sure your current inconvenience proved that once in a lifetime was entirely enough. Oh yes, and it's not over yet. We have a long way to go, and now we seem to be backing up on that, and not happy. I'm probably going to go back to the insurance company to get them to do something to hustle them up, because they were the ones that kind of recommended this situation. So, yeah, it's an issue when you're eating, living, working off your bed and bedroom for 3 months. That's Mr. Charles in Oregon. Ciao, Professor Shawn and GSN crew and Rock family. It was a wonderful change of pace to switch back to mineral specimen focused show. I would like to reiterate my appreciation of the knowledge you pass on to the viewers. That's primarily why I am here. Thank you. And I thank you. That was a very kind and complimentary compliment. We were able to get the blue topaz bracelet for my mother for Mother's Day. That was so inexpensive. I couldn't believe it hadn't sold yet. But that's because you were the one that was supposed to have it for your mom. And that's why. So I'm glad to see that it did sell. Also purchased the unusually cut Indian garnet parcel and deeply discounted topaz ring for ourselves. I think a topaz ring was $28. Wow. I am very curious. You mentioned having experience heat treating carnelian. I have tried to research how that is done, but have not been able to find any information. Can you please briefly describe the process or point me in the right direction to find out? Is it something that is possible without expensive or specialized equipment? We have an abundance of pale orange carnelian in Oregon that I would like to experiment with. With love, Charles. Love back at you there, Charles. And Charles getting both of the answers right in the trivia. Okay, so I normally don't discuss or give away the heat treatment techniques because I don't want those of you at home to go and try it and then something goes wrong and you destroy it, like aquamarine. I would not tell you how to heat treat aquamarine because that means you have aqua and And just like the zircons, I don't want you putting heat to zircons, and I don't want you anyone putting heat or any other type of treatment methods. Remember, I actually have it's got so many buttons and dials on it, and the chamber is no bigger than 3 by 3 inches. This thing weighs at least 50 pounds and is no bigger than about this big, but it's all thick, heavy, insulated metal with this small but heavy door that clamps closed. It goes up to 3,000 degrees, and I have a vacuum hose that attaches to it where you can pull a full vacuum. Now, for those of you that forget your chemistry class, a vacuum, and actually in casting and in making rings, I did that in the How It's Done series, where the investment material you put under a dome, which is like the plaster of Paris. You got to watch the How It's Done series. And then you flip a switch because you have it on a vacuum table. And what it does, it pulls a vacuum inside this bubble dome. And what it does, it'll pull all the air that's in the still viscous plaster of Paris type of mixture, so that after it hardens and you sling molten gold into, hardens, you burn out the wax that was in it and sling molten gold in it, there's not any bubbles that are left on the wax. So it pulls all the air out of the plaster of Paris type mixture. So in the creation of jewelry process, a vacuum is something that can be that we do all the time in the process of making a ring. There's also vacuum casting, where instead of using a centrifugal force to throw the gold into the flask, the molten gold into the flask where the wax was, hence lost wax casting, watch the videos, you have a vacuum that pulls underneath the flask, and you pull the molten gold in from above, and that vacuum is pulling down. The plaster Paris type mixture is actually made to be somewhat porous to air. So not any kind of metal, but air is actually pulled through that material. So it actually pulls the gold into the mold where your wax was. I prefer the centrifugal method, but a lot of people also, I have both, but I don't know. I just think it's, I think that arm spinning around really fast where it would snap your arm in two in a heartbeat is a much more exciting way to cast than vacuum casting. And that's what it's called, vacuum casting. So, yeah, very familiar with vacuums. And when I was young and immature, and I first had my first vacuum table, there's other things you can put in there and pull a vacuum on, and like a tomato. Makes a mess, but it's fun to watch. And we'll just leave it alone at that. This oven I have has the ability to heat treat sapphires, which the best way to heat treat a sapphire is to raise it up almost to the melting point of a sapphire itself, but to the point where it will dissolve rutile needles and take the fuzziness out of a sapphire crystal, and improves the color, improves the clarity, but it often has to be done at that temperature in a vacuum. So a vacuum is area of space that is void of any other element. So there's no air, no oxygen, nothing else in there. So all of outer space is a vacuum. That's why you see, if someone in these horror movies and whatnot, in space, they implode. You implode. So with this fancy oven I have, you can do such things. So I'm familiar with all forms of heat treating. Now, again, there's things that you can do to destroy the item that you're trying to improve. Back to carnelian. I don't mind sharing carnelian because it's not that valuable when you mess up. So, if you don't have a burnout oven, so a burnout oven is what melts and burns out, leaving no residue behind. The flask that the plaster of Paris is poured around and your wax is inside, and it completely dissipates the wax, leaving no residue behind because you run it up to close to 1400 degrees, and then you drop the temperature down to 800 to 900 degrees, and that temperature, you sling your molten gold into it because it has to be hot enough for that gold to make it into all the way into the back of the model and still remain molten. And so that oven, a burnout oven, goes up to about 2000 degrees. So it covers almost any kind of heat treating that you can do. Back to carnelian. Carnelian, just depending on what elements are present in the agate or cryptocrystalline quartz itself, is the factor that will determine if the color improves. So most of the time, iron is the associated element in carnelian that gives it its orange color, yellow colors, and other colors. If you have something, when you heat treat carnelian, you can often turn it to a wonderful red, a wonderful deeper orange red, and greatly improve the color. Use your home oven first, and most of them will go up to about 550 degrees, but you want to do that in a slow process, going up and then going down. So, by slow, I mean a couple hours to get it to the 550 degrees, and a couple hours of cool down time. And check it and see if it made a difference. And in many cases, that temperature will be enough. Now, the length of time that you hold it at that temperature matters as well. So I would say an hour, but check it at half an hour. A half an hour may be long enough. If there's no change at half an hour, there probably won't be any change at an hour. So in a half hour at that full temperature, there should be some conversion of color if it's going to change at all at that temperature. Now, something else that everybody has that can actually go higher than that is your grill, your gas grill. I know my gas grill has 4 burners, it has a lid, and it has a pyrometer. And in no time at all, that pyrometer maxes out at 650 degrees and pegs out. So, meaning it would easily go higher than that temperature that the pyrometer goes up to. So if you want to try that at the next stage, or try some in each, and compare and see what you get. And that's for doing your home treating of carnelian. That's what I got for you. The two methods to use with equipment at home that you already have, and the key is also to make sure it is sterilely clean, that there's no fingerprints, thumbprints, oil, or anything else on the material, and that you don't set the agate directly on like the grates, because of course there could be leftover particles or food or whatever, and you might wind up with lines in your carnelian or something like that. So you want to be able to try to only let it tilt it and lean it on top of I use something that I know will take a high degree of temperature, and so you only have two contact points. You have a bottom edge of like a slab or the piece of rock, and the top edge. And you can use, if you have like those big corundum crystals that from India, the inexpensive corundum, it's not going to do much probably at that temperature to the corundum. But the corundum can easily take the heat, and it won't affect the piece. And there's a lot of, or just even another piece of metal, but you want to minimize your contact with any other foreign object to suspend it in a way that it minimally touches anything else. So that's what I got for you there, Mr. Charles. Okay, that's it. I think we have it covered, and we have a winner this week. And that winner this week is, speaking of, Charles in Oregon. Congratulations. Let's show you what you won. Charles, you know, everything for a reason. This was it for this week, and it's probably perfect, especially since you're a lapidary, and this is something that I know you will be able to have fun with. This is world class. Some of the little bit of I have left of some of the finest lapis there is. Look at that color. And if I were you, I would definitely slab this. I would definitely cut and do something with this. But it also has some beautiful pyrite that you can see here. This calcite most likely will fluoresce. Most of the times it does. So this white is only a surface. And you can see just how beautiful that blue is. What you want is this color blue with minimal pyrite and no calcite. That is the good stuff. So a wonderful specimen, but for those that can do something with it, wow, this would be beautiful. If you said you got a flat lap, well, sand that flat, get the calcite removed on either side, both sides, and then just put it on that flat lap and create a wonderful polish on one or both sides or all sides. And wouldn't that be a stunning piece? So congratulations to you, Charles in Oregon. Let me put this away, and we'll be right back with the start of the show. All right. For those of you wanting an aquamarine, well, I stepped it up this week. Kind of hard for you to see a relative size to this. Let me help you, and then you'll really have an appreciation for it. This is my hand. Look at the size of this specimen. This is wonderful Gilgit Pakistan material with incredible muscovite crystals on top and throughout, and then And then look at these. Not quartz. No, calcite crystals. Look at these calcite crystals. That aqua. Wow. Wow. Now, as Dave gives us a tour, we're going to look at this side first. And there are some mystery crystals in here that would be a lot of fun to look at it a little closer. Wow, the difference in a big screen TV. For those of you at home, we have one here that really, I can see how it looks, and it's like, what a difference in size. Wow. Too bad my neck can't bend that way always. Okay, so look at that. Look at this crystal. Wow. Now, if it didn't have this surface mineral on the outside, you'd be able to see right through it. But natural color, which you want, and always the chance of a potential anhydro or water bubble in it. I'm going to leave that up to whoever gets this piece to explore it. This is the month of March, and I thought there was no better time than to introduce something like this than March, because aquamarine is the birthstone for that month, for this month, and I have not shown a major aqua specimen like this in a long time. Doesn't mean I didn't have them. It just meant that that I wasn't sharing, and that I was still enjoying it as a personal specimen. This is amazing. Now, look at the growth of the muscovite crystals on top of the termination of the aqua. Those are beautiful in their own right. And then, let's see here. Let me get my little pointer so I can see. There was another crystal on here that I found interesting. I kind of wondered what this was. As you can see, it kind of see the direction, the striations, that different direction than the aqua. So here's the aquamarine right here. What's that? I'll leave it up to you guys. It can be figured out. It may just be another aqua crystal growing in that direction, but it's got a little different color. Here is what would be the bottom, and you have a myriad of calcites mixed with mica and under magnification. This is when you get out and go to that closet and you get out your ultraviolet light and you start looking for any oddities. I checked it, and the calcite did not look very fluorescent, which is good in this case, because if something really fluorescent stands out, you know it'll be something different. Now, I just noticed, look at this angle. Look at this blue right here. Huh. I won't do that much in case it's an actual mineral specimen. It doesn't look exactly like a marker. Not sure. Those are just a couple of the oddities. Leave it up to you to find the rest. Look at this, though. Look at this growth. It looks like a dove or a bird flying downwards. Look in this. When you get, whoever is lucky enough to get this piece, get your flashlights out, do your backlighting, and look into, oh, great job, Dave. Look into the aqua. And see, all it takes is a pen light and darkness, and it gives you a whole nother way to see into this piece for everything from other mineral inclusions to anhydro bubbles, and to see the clarity of it as well, which it's apparent that you could definitely cut a very large aquamarine out of the top portion of this. I'm surprised that it wasn't actually cut. It may have a couple inclusions in it, but it doesn't matter if you want. But who, would you want to do that or just leave it as an incredible mineral specimen? I like the mineral specimen. So in lighting it up this way, you can definitely see everything that is the aquamarine. Because it is that transparent and translucent that the light travels through the entire piece without having to move the light around, even into the calcites. But it allows you to see exactly every area that is aqua, and also any other intersecting minerals. That's really neat. What a night light that would make, which I have told other people how to do and made night lights. You take those most inexpensive ones that all of us had growing up, not these fancy ones today, and you take off that front cover, and you can create all kinds of bases and set other mineral specimens in front of them. The light, because all it takes is not very bright backlighting. This is just a little pen light, and you can really have a lot of fun with it. Now, not that you would necessarily want to do it with a fine specimen like this, but certainly other ones would be a fantastic way to have a really cool night light that is relevant to your hobby. Wow, that's just a wonderful way to enjoy that. So this is just straight from above, shooting it through the mica. There, look at that clarity in that. Look at that clarity in that piece. Yeah, that would cut a big stone. Thank you, sir. You can see the calcites over here. Beautiful. Wow, really beautiful. All right, you see how much easier it was to see into that aqua doing it that way? But as a specimen, looking at it in natural color, natural light, it is just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Wow. Now, I'm including a wood stand with this piece. You can repaint it or whatever if you want, or stain it. But I thought that at this angle, look at, that's, the bottom. Crystals display best when they're not pointing straight up. The aesthetics of it, you could not ask for a natural, better display angle than what it's doing right there. The aqua at an angle, the calcites very visible and apparent, and the muscovites as well. This side, not so pretty. But this side, what a, see, you can do it like that, or like that. Wow, that's really pretty. Actually, it has so many different angles. That displays really nicely there. It elevates the calcites up, and still you have an angle on the aqua, and it's sitting on that base. So, your choice. There's many options. That's a stunning specimen. A specimen like that in the market is not inexpensive, but it's affordable when you get it from this show. At a gem and mineral show, I would have no doubt that piece would be, I don't know, I think I would see some dealers offering it for $800 to $900, $1,000. I can't imagine it ever being less than $500 or $600. My price to you on this piece, only $288. $288. That is a lot of look for not a lot of money. It's going to have that very functional base with it as well. Beautiful. Now we're going to leave that there for the moment because I am going to show you next the piece I talked about. The piece that I cut the aqua and made the ring. So yes, we're going to show you that aqua. It's a perfect timing. It's item number... I still need... I can't always see these. Item number 1107123. 1107123. And I'm going to show you one, I think well, I'm a little prejudiced, but truly one of the most beautiful natural color. This aquamarine has not been heat treated and has the appropriate green to prove it. Let me show you a beautiful, beautiful ring. Look at that. Look at that. Now, this is what I would call, I don't know, if I was to name the cut, a radiant emerald cut. And I'll show you why. This has marquee diamonds and rounds. I hand soldered and built the wire supports, soldered the heads, set the stones. Look at this stone. Look at how the dispersion of the light. No window in it, and look at the depth. I have it just right with the culet coming down just almost all the way to the edge of the gold, just above enough that you can put it on a ring mandrel without it being damaged. You can see how perfectly straight it's set. That is hard to do when you have the corners it have. So I mentioned I had to recut it. So remember, this was an estate piece. She wore this, and it had absolute pointed corners. There was no, like an emerald cut, there were no corners that, every corner came to a point, a sharp point. I was able to set the prongs over that sharp point, which is very difficult. If there's a flat corner like emerald cuts have, that would be so much safer and easier. Oddly enough, she enjoyed wearing it. No, but she was always good about her jewelry. It's still so clean. And it was not scratched anywhere on it. But underneath the prong, all four of them, it was chipped. It was chipped. So I went back in and modified the corners and put that facet there and cut the corners and gave it a facet angling up this way a straight up and down corner, and then a facet underneath on the pavilion going down that way. So fully protected and made it so there's a very slight chance of it being chipped or broken if the corner is hit now. Now, as we look closer at this, I'm going to show you, look at that cutting. Look at that cutting. Oh boy, that was one that I still remember to this day cutting it. It was a stunning and fun piece, and why I had to make the mounting, because it wasn't a standard dimensional calibrated width and length. Look at the brilliance. Look at the brilliance. Now, I'm going to, let me just show you. Look at this. Wouldn't that make a great display to have an emerald aqua crystal next to a beautifully faceted aqua? Kind of a really neat before and after type look right there. Natural color here, natural color on this piece. And I'm going to try to show you the green tint in a moment, because right now you don't really see it. Oh, let's go in one more time and show you how I created the heads, the support wires, and then you can see 3 marquee diamonds and 4 rounds. 3 marquee shape and 4 rounds on either side. Just the right amount to accent it without causing your eyes to divert away from the primary piece, which is the centerpiece. Diamonds should enhance, not take away from an item. Look at that. Now, as we look at the sides, a classic emerald cut is also sometimes called a step cut, because your facets will just be straight across one after the other like a set of steps. But let me get my pointer. A radiant cut will have kind of a scissored effect, and if you catch the light on this, you can see that these are not just step cut facets. The ones right here at the top, you can see are scissor cut, where there's a facet here and there, and then the straight one. On the end, it's a classic step cut. So just on the long sides did I add that other effect, greatly actually increasing dispersion in that area. Now let me put this against a white background and see if this will work enough. So we'll remove that. And let me see. Now you can see the green. Now you can see the green color tone. See the difference that brilliance makes? So when you take it away from looking at it like this, you see how much blue you see? That's the difference in brilliance. That's why diamonds are graded on their side. So when you grade diamonds for color, you don't grade them from looking at them from straight down above. You turn the diamond on the table and at an angle. So you're looking at it like this or like this. And that allows the color to be seen without all that bright dispersion disguising the real color. So that's how they're graded, is by looking at them from the side. And by doing that against a white background, you can see the lovely secondary color tone of green in this. And heat treating aqua drives off that green. It is actually a iron valence conversion. See, look at that. Look at that secondary color. Look how much green is in it. I love it. This is Raven's birthstone. So her birthday's coming up here. And luckily this ring was too big for her little tiny finger. She has, she loves aqua crystals, but faceted aqua, not as keen on. But she loves, I gave her an amazing aqua specimen, several of them. So she has a nice collection of aqua crystals. Really nice collection. This had no inclusions that I could see when I was cutting it. None. None. Absolutely clear, clean. It's an amazing piece. Now, a lot of people always want to see it on a finger so you can judge the size of it. So we have me for a model. Look at that. Look at that. You see how the diamonds just accent it and your eyes aren't drawn to the diamonds. That's the way a design should be. That's the way to do it. And all your eyes go to is that really bright, amazing aquamarine. So this piece, let me put this back here for a moment. The aquamarine alone is a expensive color, expensive, it's a clean, it's a custom-made mounting for it, which would have had to been done no matter what because of the shape, the length, the 19 by 13 millimeters, using the marquees and the rounds, creatively done. And also, if I remember right, I believe I have, there it is right there. That, remember I told you it's always a giveaway. If my logo, my signature is ever neat and nice, it's not an original. It has to be, I do it by hand with just a sharp pointed, rotating, pointed piece of metal. And remember I told you in last week's show how I had to read my term paper to the teacher because she couldn't even read my printing to the nun. So you can imagine me doing this by hand, left-handed, how it's going to turn out. And it's always legible, but sloppy. And that's my signature. That is how you know it's a Shawn original. So we have S98S. It's always my initials with the year I made the piece in between. 98, 99, 2000, very prolific years for me making jewelry. And this, one of the last of the great pieces that I made the ring and cut the stone. So I think I have that in the tag. Made and cut by Shawn, S98S. There it is. So you have verification there and right there. All right. I am able to offer this at a fraction of what it would sell for because of the estate that I am helping liquidate. And so that being said, if that aqua was figured at $100 a carat, which would be inexpensive, that would be $1,877 just for the aquamarine. And that's only at $100 a carat. This entire ring, diamonds, gold, this incredible aquamarine and all, I am going to offer. And of course, the price, it'll never be less than. And after, if it doesn't sell in this show, anywhere else you'll see it, it will not be as inexpensive as it is going to be right now. So how about this? This entire ring, aqua and all, remember, at only $100 a carat on the figuring the aqua alone, is $1,877 just for the aqua at only $100. So this entire piece with that mounting that has a carat of diamonds. All right. Just spit it out, Shawn. $1,588. $1,588. That's it. That's all. I mean, as a semi-mount, if you took the aqua out, that's the semi-mount, that's easily $1,000, $1,200 mounting or more. And the aquamarine, you know, at an inexpensive valuation of $200 a carat, so that's, you know, $3,600 there, $1,200, yeah, so that's $5,000. On an inexpensive end, $4,000. My price only $1,588. $1,588, and wouldn't that be beautiful to display when you're not wearing it next to this aquamarine crystal specimen? Get both of them, and you can look at that color, very similar. And I already told you this color was natural color. So what a before and after right there, huh? So since we'll do this in the order that, let me leave that right there for the moment. Take one last beautiful look. That is one of the last rare pieces where I cut the stone and made the mounting. Take advantage of it. Grab that. Grab that. Now, I said I had a couple of really nice higher end pieces of jewelry. That was one of them. But it should be a lot higher end by way of the price than what you're seeing now. As is this next item. This is item 1107. 1107-023. 1107-023. I added the head and set the stone, but I did not make the mounting. But I just had to recut the sapphire, so I had a little involvement. Check this out. Look at this. I have not shown you a sapphire like this, I don't know if ever. Not in this show. Look at that. Look at that. I was not 100% sure of the origin, but if I had to make a guess, it certainly has all the constraints of being a salon stone. Certainly by way of color. It's clean. It is clean, which is also unique. It has 6 prongs. Of course, I would do 6 prongs for security. That's the way I am. And that's why there was only one little place in the top, in the crown, that needed to be polished out, because those 6 prongs kept it secure and helped protect all the edges from being beat up. Look at the diamonds. Raven loved it. She loved it. She loved the whole thing. Because I said, should I just sell the sapphire loose? And she goes, no, Ellen, that's beautiful. Leave it in there. Because I had the stone out, and that's to recut it. That's how I know the exact weight. Same thing as the aqua. If not, I would have been having to estimate the weight, because I had all that information got lost. We're talking about a long time ago, the late 90s. Baguettes and rounds, nice shank, nice gallery, 6 prongs. Let me show it on my hand so you get an idea of the size and how it looks. This is a really, fits me perfect, beautiful look. Look how big that is. Look at how big that is. Look at that 2 of the 3 kings right there. Ruby and sapphire, both extremely fine stones. Yeah, it's perfect size. And Dave, take us all the way in on this one. Thank you. Look at that. Look at the clarity to it. There is the really good part. There's no zoning. There's no real inclusions of any size. This is a fantastic stone, certainly worthy of being certified. I'd be curious what it was certified for origin, and even whether it's no heat. I had certs done on a lot of different stones, and if I had done one on this, it wasn't with it. But that would be her. She didn't care. She didn't care about information. She only cared about the jewelry itself. Look at that. That's a real treasure. That's a real treasure. That, to me, is approaching one of my probably favorite color for a blue sapphire. If it gets much darker, you lose a lot of brilliance. And if it gets lighter, you lose a lot of value. This is a valuable color, and it is the right shade to allow light to bounce off those back facets and reflect back through the top like it's supposed to. When stones are too saturated and too dark, they won't do that. That is a very desirable color for a sapphire. All right, now, it's 2.58 carat. I don't exaggerate and make up these huge numbers for value on stones. I was talking to Raven about this one, though, as we were driving in, and I said to her that what that would cost to go out and get in the marketplace right now. Things like this, this is from the late 90s already, so it's a stone from a long time ago in the market. And the market has gone up and changed a lot since then. Of course, it's going to 25 years later. $1,000 a carat, that as a cost would be in the realm of what we'd be talking about, and that would be a bargain. So that'd make And I'm talking about cost. I'm talking about what it would cost me, not a retail kind of cost, what it would cost me. So you're looking at, just for the sapphire, $2,500. And the mounting, if you were to get that as a semi-mount with that many diamonds, it'd be a $1,500 semi-mount, and that would be a good deal. So, you're looking at a $4,000 to $5,000 kind of ring again. Easily. That would be a wonderful bargain for someone. But right now, in this show, and trying to raise more money, and as a matter of fact, the other person working on selling the household contents and the executor of the estate actually called me and said, Shawn, I got to replace all the carpet in this house. He's trying to get the house ready to put up, not for sale, but for rent. So he said, I need as much money as you can come up with. So to do that means you're going to get some of the best bargains ever. If it doesn't sell, I'm only going to show this one time in this show. This is the one time. And after about a week, I'm going to pull it from the inventory of the show, and if it doesn't sell, it's going to go elsewhere. I'm going to offer this entire piece, the mounting, the stone, and all, for the same price as the aqua, $1,588. $1,588. So that is an incredible deal. That is your choice, $1,588. That'd be a tough decision. If I was somebody else other than poor broke me, I would buy both of them. Both of them. Because look, okay, add them up together, you're looking at $176. So you're looking at only $3,176 for both of those rings. When either one of them would far exceed that. Wow. Wow. That sapphire, that mounting, $1,588. Whew, that's a beaut. All right, I have a mess to clean up here and put these rings away, so I will be right back in a minute. Okay, it is Aquamarine month, March, and this is another aqua that I had discovered and had mentioned. Look at this. This is a beauty. Natural color. It's an Orongo aquamarine from Namibia, not a Gilgit Pakistan one like that really big one was. Here, I'll show you the two side by side. The Orongo ones were known to have deeper color tones than the Gilgit ones, and you can see that in that particular gem. Now, also you can see these myriad of little irises that reflect out. Look at that perfect hexagonal shape. Look at that. There we go. Great shot there, Dave. Look at all the little rainbows coming out of this, and it has a kind of a two-tone effect. You can see kind of a greener cap to it, a really intense blue. You have natural etching where solution comes through, kind of etches away the aqua, and then what often happens is another mineral will grow and fill in, which has happened here. Very attractive, actually, for to people like me. I don't know, I like the different and the unusual, but you have a wonderful, wonderful display side like that. This piece I have a discount on, and it's only $78. Only $78 on that. And look at how large that is. Nice large piece, $78. Take advantage of that. Okay, now you're gonna see some stunning gemstones. And I'm going to fly through some of these in just a moment. But first, let's get to a couple other items. Let's look at 1108 723. This is for those of you that can solder. I know Anthony does bench work. Harry certainly does. Elisa, I think, does. This was on a ring I was taking apart, and I thought, well, why destroy this? The diamonds are already set in it. It's 14 karat gold, approximately 4 points of diamonds, 9 stones. They're small stones, but that's fine. And it has a perfect stem that you can just solder it to anywhere, and it's ready to go. It is ready to go. A 3-leaf accent. I think that's really attractive.
Just one of them?
Just one, yep. 9 stones in it. There's 3 leaves holding the 9 stones all together. And total weight, almost half a gram. 14 karat yellow gold. I thought, you know, that would be so difficult to make and to set the stones that are that small, because for me, able to sell the whole thing ready to go for $36, you know, that would save you many, many hours to create that. $36, take advantage of it. All right. Let's get going here. Now, next you're going to see some stunning emeralds at a huge, huge discount. This is item 11-0, one second here, 11-0-88-23. And I have these in a diamond paper. I'm going to open it up for you. Check these out. Check this parcel of emeralds out. These are cabochones. When have you ever seen facet grade quality emeralds as cabochones? Look at the clarity of these. Colombian, and as I've mentioned before, the color green, a lot prettier when you get them at home. All of these could be faceted. Let me get some tweezers out here for a moment, because they're actually preforms. If cabochones always are, you just flip them upside down. These are beautiful stones, ready to go. I wasn't going to break them up because they all match. They all match. They came out of a bracelet. Look at that. Look at the clarity. So what I mean by a preform is the bottom becomes the top if you wanted to facet it. So you start off like that. And there's the pavilion. There's the top. And there's a little piece of metal piece of something trying to get in on the act. All right. That is probably a piece of metal because I was taking them out. Look at that. Look at that. What a parcel. 10 stones. Ready to go. How would you like all 10 for only $118? That is easy to calculate. $11.80 each. Less than $12 a stone. Imagine how inexpensive that is. Take advantage. Take advantage. All right, let me just fold that right there for the moment. Let's look at 11-08-223. Sticking with Colombia, let me now show you a opportunity at another emerald grouping. And look at these beauties. Let me put these away. Look at those. Matched pair, faceted. Look at how clean they are. Exactly calibrated at 7 by 5 millimeters. Carat 52 total weight. Now, due to time, I'm not going to take those out. I don't think I need to. I think you'd rather see some more goods than me playing with them around on a turntable. You can get the idea of just how amazing they are by even, if they look great through an old plastic gem tube that's all scratched up, then they're going to look great, even better. Let me just do, I'll do this for a moment. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful stones. I said I wasn't going to, but the gem nut in me can't help myself. Look at that. Wonderful cutting, and they are calibrated exactly, which to do that, they lose a lot of weight. Because when you cut to a specific size, whatever was extra around gets removed. Price on the two stones, that's what also is phenomenal. $88. I am not kidding you. Only $88 for both. Next, item number 1108, 323. Even if you don't know what you want to do with them now, just get them. Get them, because you'll never be able to find anything like these at that price again. Look at these two, same thing. These, a carat 50 in the two stones, same price, $88. $88 on those. And so if you need four or want four, buy both parcels. I'm not putting any restrictions on purchasing them. So if you want to get them all, get them all. Next item. So you know what they look like. Look at how clean those are. That is a price of $44 each. $88, a carat 50 for $88. So, okay, let's do the price per carat. At $60 a carat is $90. So roughly just under $60 a carat. You would find those easily. If you went to a jewelry store, $300, $400, $500 a carat. They wouldn't even believe you if you told them what you paid on that. Next item is item number 1108, 423. Now, I broke this parcel up. Didn't break the cabochon parcel up, but I broke this parcel up so I could be able to offer pricing differently. So here's a single stone from the same lot, except this weighed a little bit more. It was 7 by 5 millimeters. It was 82 points. Look at the clarity. Just a really clean, especially emeralds. You know how emeralds, they are a type 3 gemstone, which is the type 3. They have type 1, type 2, and type 3. Type 3 is where you expect, the definition is inclusions expected, common, and occur in every gem. I always, like rubellite tourmaline is a type 2. Tanzanite is a type 1, where you expect it to be clean. So that gives you an idea. For emeralds, these are really clean. Price on this one stone, only $58. Only $58. a really, really beautiful gem. And I think I don't need to take it out for you to see that. I want to get to some other, lot of other items I have for you. 1107, 223. Let me show you this. For you diamond, pardon? 1107, 223. This is HI color matched diamonds, emerald cut, a carat. 80 point total weight, 4.6 by 3 millimeters, VS clarity, a 3-stone parcel. Take a look at those. Look at those. Incredible emerald cuts. 3 matching emerald cuts. Clarity, VS clarity. Yeah. 1107, 223. Let's see. Yep. All right. 3 matching emerald cuts and 80 points. If you had to go buy these in the wholesale marketplace, wow, it would be, you'd be shocked. You already know from all those 20 pointers I had sold, the quarter carat I offered sold, to have 3 emerald cuts that average over a quarter carat each, to have that kind of clarity. Look at how beautiful these. I love emerald cut diamonds. I just love emerald cut diamonds. Fantastic color and an incredible clarity. The reason why emerald cuts have to always be really clean is because, just like baguettes, due to the way they're cut, any inclusion in them is very visible, becomes very, very visible. Look at that. Look at that. All right, I want to sell the 3 together because they match, and there's so much you could do with 3 of them. And even if you don't know what you want to do with them right away, just get them, because at the price of only $585, you can't go wrong. Only $585. And what may sound expensive isn't when you start breaking it down. So remember that quarter carat round? I think it was Sue in Texas that said she had bought one previously years ago. It was over like $600, she said. And I think the one I sold to her that was a better clarity and color was only like $185. And so these, when you average the 580, that makes it less than $200 each. It actually is $195 a stone. And their average weight is a little bit more than a quarter carat, and the clarity is phenomenal. Phenomenal. As I said, you expect that in an emerald cut, and you want to find that in an emerald cut. The color, a great color without paying the premium for like a DEF type color. All right, next, let's look at item 1107. Wait a second, what was that? Did we have a, I'm not reading this right. I had 80 points on, you had 80 points on that other, right? Yeah, 80 points. I had exit.
Right now. On the screen right now.
Right. So 1107 220. Okay, yeah, I got it right. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Awesome. 80 points, yep. So that is correct. $11,072.23. Yep. So this next parcel is $11,073.23, and it was all on that list. All right. So what we have in this next parcel, their HI color, a total weight of 89 points. Let's see, wait. A total weight of 88, excuse me. A total weight of 88 points. Baguette cut 3.3 by 2.4 millimeters. VS clarity, 5 stone parcel. HI color. All right, let me remove these. And let me just show you these. Look at that. So these, they're called baguettes. A lot of people want to still call them emerald cuts, but they don't have the corners cut. Look at these stones. Some are just a slightly different size than the others, but they would still all channel set if you wanted to do that. Look at these. Beautiful, beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 6 stones I see. Okay, so I can't even count. 6 stone parcel. Wow. My bad. Oh, I do have it as 6 stones. Okay. Look at these. I'm too excited about what I'm able to offer and bring you. Price only $254. Only $254 for 6 stones. So, you know, again, when you think about that, that's only what, like $42 each, something like that? Wow. Wow. For diamonds? 1107. Yeah, thank you for asking. 323. Yep, that is the correct number. And feel free, if you like these diamonds, to get both parcels, because there's not going to be any more rounds. There might be some more round stones along the way, but for these cuts, the emerald cuts, there's a huge premium compared to round stones, because the clarity of these have to be really clean, or it's very visible. Any inclusion. Only $254. And when you think about the price per carat, that's less than $300 a carat. That makes it really, in my world, when you know how much diamonds are, that is less than it would cost me to replace them. Well, less. Let's look at item 1107-423. Now, here's a chance if you missed out on that large garnet I offered a few weeks ago. Here is, look at this, another incredible garnet. Let me put the diamond away and I'll get that for you. Now, this stone, a wonderful cushion cut. It has, let me remove this. It has that rich almondine saturation to it. Rather use my fingers. And big garnets are hard to come by. Little garnets, yeah, there are plenty of. and that's why the price is reflected in smaller stones for what they are. But the bigger ones, to be clean and to find them, no. That's another story. That's a wonderful large gem and a price that you're going to really like. Because I have it for you at only $38. $38 for that size. Look at the, figure the price per carat on that. That's a phenomenal opportunity. And the large garnets, again, like I said, they're the ones that have become and have been the ones that are much more expensive. Madagascan almandine. And one of the ways to check, of course, let's just see. I'll put myself on the spot here. Almandine is known as the iron garnet. Let me see if there is a magnetic attraction. Boom. There we have it. There we have it. We can pull it around the turntable right there. So we have a iron content in it. And therefore, we know, unfortunately in a way, that it's not a spessartine or a hessonite, because if it was, actually, it wouldn't be that inexpensive unless I didn't check it for the iron content. Magnets are an amazing thing and can be very useful in the gemstone world. Okay, wait till you see what's next. 1107-923. What I'm going to show you next is a parcel that is almost impossible to even find. Let me put away that garnet. I'll be right back. What I'm showing you now is something you probably have never seen, and that is Uruguayan red flash amethyst in this size. 3mm stones. You know the amount of saturation it takes to start with from a piece of rough, where a 3mm stone has this kind of intensity and color? Yeah, that's some really high end. Not going to take those out. I'm going to lose time, and I have a lot more to show you. But look at the red flash coming out of those. Uruguayan, these were my personal stones that I was going to create something with at some point. Just don't have the time for that. How about this, the entire parcel? I know one of you will take advantage of it because it's only, well, it's not something you're even going to find. $24. $24. That's the good stuff. That is the really, really good stuff. Now, I have something to go with it. 1107-823. And when you're talking about good stuff in amethyst, it doesn't get much better than this next stone. This is, in the world of amethyst, probably the, I can't imagine one being any finer than this. And let me grab it so I don't have my fingers on it. Look at this. Look at that. Now that is an amethyst. That is an amethyst. Okay, see the zoning? That's what I tell you all the time that you want to see. That is what separates this from being a synthetic, which is completely any more acceptable, they say, because there's so much lab created amethyst, and they create it in this color and then offer it for $2 a carat. That the price alone would be the tell to know that you're buying a synthetic. Zoning, that's what you want to see anymore, to know you're getting the real deal. That's an amazing gem, and when you get this at home, look at it in the sunlight and you will be even wowed more. $93 on that, only $93. That stone should truly sell for 40 to 50 or even 100 a carat. I've seen them sell for that. And that's an okay price if it sold for 50 to $100 a carat. That's in the market. But what is that? $12 a carat? I don't know. But it's not a lot. It's in that range. Let me see, I have it. Yeah, $12 a carat. $12 a carat. Crazy. Let me show you something else you haven't seen. 110802. Let me see. 1108023. And here is, when I remember having to get these for a project long ago. White sapphires. Look at those. White sapphires. These were selling from a very well-known supply house that supplies almost every jeweler has an account with this company, and they sell gemstones also. They cost $300 a carat. I kid you not. What they were in, I ended up taking apart, and I know this is, I remember getting them, and I couldn't believe what they were asking for them. A carat 30 total weight. Now, for the kind of quality and color, granted, and this is over 20 years ago, that would have been like, and she was trying to save some money, so that was about half what diamonds would have cost. And look at how white, bright, they're very clean. White sapphires are one of the rarest colors in sapphire because it is the natural color that Al2O3 is, aluminum oxide. Aluminum oxide without any impurities in it to distort the color is naturally clear white. These stones match 3 millimeters, and you can get these right now for a fraction of what the original cost was. I'm offering these for only $72. That's only $8 a stone. $72. They cost me $300 a carat. They cost $390. Only $72. That's $8 a stone. Real white sapphires, and they are clean. They are clean. They have one or two, has one or a couple of inclusions, just enough little inclusions in a couple of them for me to make sure that they were the real deal when I got them, because I couldn't believe how much they were asking for them. And I was, though, impressed. The cut is really nice, and the match, fantastic. So, you know, you get what you pay for, and this wholesale company, yeah, they're known to be a little bit higher, but they have quality goods. Well, no matter which way you cut it, you'll never find these for what I'm offering for them right now. Something else I don't think I have ever offered. 1108 623. And I know some of you have asked for something like this before. I have it in a diamond paper. Let me show you. Look at this. Look at that. Incredible Tahitian black pearl. It is half drilled, so you don't have to worry about drilling it. Let me find the drill hole for you. Look at this. So what the drill, that'll be the top. So when you orient, if you have to drill them, you always orient it where you drill them so that the blemish-free side, of course, is the one on the top. And sure enough, there's the opposite side. There's the drill hole. It is 12 millimeters. That is a large pearl. Let's see if I can sit it on the drill hole. Most likely not. So we'll sit it right, well, we'll just right there in front. How's that? All right. 1997 is when I got that pearl. I only mention that because of what the pearl market has done since then. And I am able to offer this to you for about a third of what it would be now. $88 on that. Only $88 on that. That is a steal. Let me show you something else you have not gotten a chance to get. 1108 523. 1108 523. You know, I used to live in East Tennessee and was real familiar with the pearl market, which there is in East Tennessee. The freshwater mollusks were being bought up to use as the implants to create the cultured pearls. But along the way also, there was the freshwater pearl market. This is not a freshwater pearl. This is a Mabe pearl, also known as a blister pearl. These are grown on the inside of a larger mollusk shell, like one of the regular mollusks that grow some of the other pearls, but they're not grown underneath the membrane. They're grown on the shell itself. And look at that. Look at this. So these aren't inexpensive, not when they're this size. This one, very showy. You can see the mother of pearl backing and how that's done. It's read about it if you want some more info. Price on this is a fraction again of what it would really be. It's only $68. Only $68 on that. And with the time running out, unfortunately for me, let me get in. I have just two more items I want to try to complete real quick. Item 108 96 22. Oh, hold on. Wrong number. I was wondering why. It is it's 1107 523. 1107 523. Sterling silver semi-mount. It'll fit a
white sapphire?
yeah, there's white sapphires along the edge. And it's a semi-mount sterling silver. It'll fit a 14 by 12 stone. And I know a lot of you have interest in these. Look at how nicely made it is. And that entire piece is only $38. Only $38. And the last item of the show coming up for you, look at that. There's the prongs. They've already been notched. I did it, so you know that they will fit a stone, it'll fit a cushion or an oval. A beautiful piece. really nicely made. 1107 623. 1107 623. Thank you. And take a look at this. Take a look at this. Now, I showed some citrine at the end of the show last week, but it was nothing like the color that this one is. This is golden orange, and it's natural color. It has the zoning, again, that you want to see, and that stone is a much more valuable gem than a citrine that has just even a little, look at that. That has that imperial topaz color look to it. Look at that richness to the color. A color tone just a little bit, there's the zoning. You see it at the bottom, and point it out to you so you can find it for yourself later. There it is right there. A color just a little bit lighter than this. The price makes a big difference. Price on this one is going to be a surprising opportunity for you. I am going to offer this guy, how about this, for only, well, why not? $36. Only $36. Last item of the show. And then let me slide these in here. I showed them before, but I 1102-723. And I was real surprised that no one got these. The in and out peridot earrings. Seriously, I have never seen these done in and out in sterling silver. I tell you what, they were $77. How could you not have bought them for that? I'll make them $68. $68. You see in and out, they call them that because they're on the outside here. And look at on the inside there. They have the standard and very easy function post. Beautiful. $68. Last time on the show. I'll be back with the trivia. All right. Well, time just really goes by too fast in doing this show, and I get all excited and have a lot I want to get to, and just, I guess, it's one of those things like my dad used to say, your eyes are bigger than your stomach, when, we would fill our plate up full of food and then couldn't eat it all. And for me, I put out far too many goods than I can get to. I have a lot of ambition, but in providing you the information that I do, which is all of you really watch this show for, even specifically what Charles said. He said, the reason he watches this show is for the knowledge and the information. So, sometimes for a $20 or $30 item, I spend more time than I really should. But the show was always originally about show and tell, and less about show and sell. And but there has to be a nice combination of the two. And so I apologize if I don't get to as many items as I often want to. And I apologize if I end up having to rush because I realize I didn't get to as much as I wanted to. And I try to make up for it. Because look, this is what I want to do. I want to have a little educational segment, talk to you about fake turquoise. I had a drilling core sample. I was going to talk about mining, even a drill bit, and tell you how they drill the dynamite holes. All that has to do with bringing you the gems and minerals that you see in this show and in all the beautiful fine jewelry in the other shows here at Gem Shopping. Behind me, you can see an incredible pair of trilobite fossils that I have a phenomenal opportunity price on, and I had hoped to show you those. And so I had big ambition and not enough time, because I also had this box was what my intent was to show you, but I didn't even get through this box. And then this was also on the playlist. A lot of ambition there, huh? All right, so let's just get to the trivia. How's that? All right. You may think I made it a little bit harder, but if you were listening carefully, you should know the answers. Again, no fast forward or rewind. If you want, you can always stop the show before I ask the questions and watch it over again, and then listen to the trivia questions. But once you've listened to the questions, you have to make your answers out. Then you can watch the show as many times as you want. So, let's get to question number 1. The chemical formula of Al2O3 belongs to what gemstone? The chemical formula of Al2O3 belongs to what gemstone? That's question number 1. Question number 2, what element is altered when aquamarine is heat treated to drive off the green color tone, leaving a pure blue color tone? So what element is altered when aquamarine is heat treated so that the color green, the secondary color of green, is driven out of the aquamarine? I did mention it. We'll see how many of you picked up on it, but I've mentioned it many other times as well. So it should be there somewhere. But if not, that's okay too. Just answer it the best way you can, and you'll learn from the answer, and you'll always then remember the answer. Simple as that. Okay, so I have a lot of things going on, hoping to get the house straightened out. When you also have your business in home, it makes for a disorganized mind. You know, a few weeks fine, a month okay, 2 months was pushing it, 3 months is ridiculous. You can almost build a whole new home, not much longer than that. So if you hear a little frustration in my voice, I'm just going to claim that I deserve to have it. So, all right. This is the joyful part of my day. Spending it here with you, with the great team I have of Asif, David, and the others behind the scenes. And once this show ends, reality sets back in, and life just hasn't been as much fun. But this time spent with you, that's quality time. God bless all of you. Thank you for all of your support. pick out as many items as you can. I have lots of other good stuff coming, minerals, gemstones. I realize that you really do miss the mineral specimens, but I still had to show you those two incredible higher end pieces at such a discount that I really hope you take advantage of both of them. And if you want, to me, the really special piece of the two, because if you're deciding of the two, the aquamarine piece, I cut the stone and made the mounting, and there's so few of those that that I can say that I've done anymore. This one, full circle, came back around to me. I had to take it out, clean up the little chipped corners, and improved upon my amazing, brilliant cut on that, so that the next wonderful owner won't have the same problem that occurred with her enjoying it. And when I saw the four corners nicked, that was okay. You know why? Because it told me she enjoyed it a lot and wore it, and that's what you're supposed to do with jewelry. You're supposed to wear it and enjoy it. And it's up to the goldsmith to make it as functional and user-friendly as possible. I learned from that one not to make any pointed corners. It was difficult to set that way, but it looked cool. But looking cool doesn't always translate to user-friendly. It is both now, cool and user-friendly. I can't wait to see you next Monday. Cheers.